Alright people, we got some brand new rumors about James Gunn's DCU. Of course, the DC Cinematic Universe. James Gunn is hard at work developing this brand new soft reboot, maybe hard reboot, we don't even know, but this new DC Universe, which will all kick off in 2025 with Superman Legacy. But the interesting thing about this is, so I've done a couple videos here about rumored projects that James Gunn is working on, and just like individual videos on individual projects, but this is about a rumor of like half a slate right here. Because of course, back in January, James Gunn did reveal the DCU Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And it was 10 projects. 10 projects right here for Chapter 1. Now, you know, we thought this was going to be like an equivalent to the MCU where it's like, oh, they did phase 1 and phase 2 and all that stuff. Their phase 1 was, okay, you got Iron Man, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Avengers. 6 movies in their phase 1. And so then you get 10 projects announced as Chapter 1 of the DCU. And then James Gunn after that even clarifies, oh wait, no, that's not even half of Chapter 1. So it seems like Chapter 1 is less of a phase comparison and more of a probably saga comparison if you're comparing it to the MCU. So this is just a chunk of what is coming in Chapter 1 of the DCU, and I'm assuming we're going to get more projects announced, probably at San Diego Comic-Con this year, along with updates on these projects, castings for Superman and stuff like that. So that is really exciting. But today, we have some brand new rumors about some other projects that are in development for the remainder of James Gunn's DCU Chapter 1. And wow, there's some juicy stuff in here. So this is all coming from reliable sources, and it all kind of lines up with other things that we've been hearing in the past in recent months, in recent weeks, and honestly even recent days as well. So kicking it all off with the big one we've all been waiting for, Peacemaker Season 2. Peacemaker Season 1, what a surprise, because Peacemaker, never even heard of the guy before he was in the Suicide Squad. Loved him in that movie. Loved him even more in his own show. That show was hilarious. That show was heartbreaking, heartwarming. Everything I love in a good show, that's what Peacemaker was. And I'm so excited that we're getting Season 2 and that this will be one of the characters and one of the projects that still survives the reboot. I mean, it is kind of a, you know, a bit of a bias when like the few projects and characters that survive are the ones that James Gunn created and brought to this universe. But yeah, whatever. I mean, there are favorites, at least my favorites. I mean, I love Peacemaker, so I'm really excited to see Peacemaker Season 2. And obviously, this is going to have some huge ties to the Amanda Waller HBO Max series as well. Now, another one that lines up with rumors and reports we've been hearing for literally since James Gunn took over is Lobo. So there is supposedly a Lobo project in development. My initial thoughts was, oh, maybe Jason Momoa is going to play Lobo in the Superman movie. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but it looks like there will be either a Lobo movie or a Lobo HBO Max series. And again, we're going with the assumption Jason Momoa is probably going to play Lobo, which is really exciting. I mean, perfect casting. Does this mean he's done with Aquaman? We don't know. We will see. But this is kind of a no-brainer right here. Then we have Animal Man. A little bit of an out-of-the-box thing here. But then again, you know, Chapter 1, the previous announced stuff, we got like Creature Commandos and stuff like that. So Animal Man is supposedly getting a project as well. Now, we're not sure if this is going to be live action. I did see one rumor that it may be an animated series on HBO Max, which I definitely wouldn't mind. It is kind of a character that lends himself more towards animation. So Animal Man is a very out-of-the-box character, very obscure character that even some hardcore DC fans don't even know about. Me, myself, I don't know a whole lot about him. But he's very much a James Gunn type character, so it does not at all surprise me that this is a character that James Gunn would want to see in this universe, and I don't believe he's ever been done in live action before. From what I know about him, he's basically the male version of Vixen, so I honestly would prefer Vixen, but Animal Man, definitely an interesting choice, but it's, at the same time, it'll be new, it'll be fresh, and I'm actually kind of excited for it. Now, Mr. Terrific. So there's supposedly a Mr. Terrific project in development as well, which again, this is lining up with very recent teaser from James Gunn. Just a few days ago, James Gunn posted an image going back months ago, when James Gunn first got this job, he posted an image of Mr. Terrific on Twitter. So you have that, and then a couple days ago, I did a video about this the other day, James Gunn posted a picture on Twitter of the Terrifics, which is a team in DC Comics. It's basically DC's version of the Fantastic Four. So it's a team led by Mr. Terrific, which also has Plastic Man, Phantom Girl of the Legion of Superheroes, and Metamorpho as well. So great team. And so I made a video about, oh, are they going to be making a Terrifics movie? And so according to these reports, we're not getting the Terrifics movie, but we are getting a Mr. Terrific movie. And this Mr. Terrific movie may not be just a Mr. Terrific movie. It may actually be the Terrifics movie, which I don't know why they wouldn't just do a movie called The Terrifics instead of making it a Mr. Terrific movie. I mean, it is kind of cool if you want to put the spotlight on Mr. Terrific, but even if it was just The Terrifics movie, he would be the main character anyway. I mean, he's the leader of the team. The team is named after him, so I don't know. I mean, it just is the title of the movie, so it really doesn't matter that much. But either way, if we're getting the Terrifics, if we're getting Mr. Terrific, if we're getting Plastic Man, if we're getting Metamorpho, Phantom Girl as well, sounds like a great team. So I'm really, really excited for this one. Again, if you want to know more about the Terrifics and my ideas, my visions for these characters in the DCU, check out that video I did the other day. Now, yeah, and here's the thumbnail from that video that I did as well. So the Terrifics seems like this may be the Terrifics movie, and that is actually something that's happening, which, again, a team never heard of before until, like, yesterday, but I'm really excited for this one. Now, we know we're getting a Superman movie. We're getting Superman Legacy, and we also know we're getting a movie about the Authority. Now, the Authority is a group of characters from Milestone Comics, no, or is it Wild? I think it's Wildstorm Comics, actually. I really don't know much about them. From what I've heard, it's kind of a similar thing to The Boys, which I also have not seen. So I really do not know much about the Authority, but it is being reported that after we get Superman Legacy, and after we get the Authority, we will get a Superman versus the Authority movie as well, which is another kind of no-brainer thing that a lot of people, when these movies were first announced, this is where people kind of thought they were going to be going, is doing a Superman versus the Authority movie, because for one, that connects these two corners of the universe together, bringing the Wildstorm Comics characters to a crossover with a character like Superman, one of the biggest characters that will be in this universe. And also because a very famous storyline in the comics is Superman versus the Elite. And I don't think we're going to be getting the Elite in the DCU, but this will be a very similar storyline, where basically you got these superheroes who just want to, you know, serve up all this justice, but kind of not follow the laws of humanity, and the Superman is going to come in, not agree with that, and they're going to fight. And I do think that is actually, even though I really don't know much about these characters from the Authority, I do think that is an interesting idea. And while it's not something I'm super excited for, especially compared to some of these other projects that are supposedly in development, it does definitely intrigue me, and I'm interested in seeing what this project may be about. Now, finally, the Justice League. So the Justice League, it was inevitable. Of course we were going to get a brand new Justice League movie, and this will probably be like the big chapter closer, just like how, you know, those were like the big phase markers for the MCU is the big Avengers movies. We are getting a new Justice League movie. James Gunn is bringing us the Justice League back to the big screen. Of course, a very all new, all different version of the League on the big screen, and this movie is supposedly going to be directed by Andy Muschietti, or at least that's who they're looking at, which, very interestingly, was a rumor that was going around for a while there. I think actually even before James Gunn took over, but there were rumors that Andy Muschietti would be directing the next Justice League movie. Of course, he is the director of the Flash movie, and we have heard nothing but good things about the Flash movie, other than Ezra Miller, because, you know, that whole thing. But it's just been said how good of a director Andy Muschietti is on this movie, and how great he would do with the Justice League film, because The Flash is kind of honestly like a mini multiverse Justice League movie. So to see him do a Justice League movie, specifically Justice League The New Frontier, which according to this rumor and report is what this movie would be based on, is awesome. I think the New Frontier is a story that I don't know a whole lot about either, but from what I read from a quick little summary, it's basically like, you know, the Justice League unites to fight this threat named Center, and Center would be the villain of this movie, and he's, you know, trying to take over the world and everything. So all these heroes, they unite, and this just makes sense, especially when you're introducing all these characters and looking at this image right here of some of these characters that are involved. Specifically, you know, obviously you have the big ones like Batman, Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Supergirl, all those characters. But one I want to specifically point out is Metamorpho. Metamorpho is featured there, and rumors are if that we're getting the Terrifics in the DCU, Metamorpho would most likely be involved in that as well, as he was a member of that team in the comics. So, Justice League New Frontier, we're getting a new Justice League movie. It's probably not coming anytime soon. Again, this was probably like at least 8 to 10 years away. I mean, James Gunn said, all right, we're developing an 8 to 10 year plan. This would probably be at the end of the 8 to 10 years. But either way, guys, I'm excited for this. Again, we'll probably get some of these projects announced and further details at San Diego Comic-Con and just in the going forward years and months and all that stuff. But I'm super excited for this. James Gunn, I think his future is bright at DC Studios alongside Peter Safran as well. But for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything goes on in the DC life.